Hey, what's next?
Oh, Blinky the cab driver. Pop it in. This is a beauty.
Who is this? Who's this from? Rick Sprenger from Denver, Colorado. You thought the cab drivers in Boston were bad. Well, check this out. At 6 a.m. on Thursday, November 30th, I hailed a cab to go to work. I gave him a very easy intersection to drive me to, but he readily admitted he had no idea where it was. He also told me right away that he'd been driving cab for only 3 months. This was obvious when he kept taking wrong turns and driving like a lunatic. I surmised that I was being transported by Blinky the Clown to Charm School Dropout. As I put my seatbelt on, it clicked. You know the click that a seatbelt makes?
Yes.
The noise led Blinky to the bizarre conclusion that I had a gun.
Yes.
Now, Tom and Ray, I'm a clean-cut graduate student. I hate guns. Nevertheless, Blinky assumed that I had a gun. After taking numerous more wrong turns, he turned his head to look at me and was about to run a red light. Although I never even raised my voice to Blinky, I suggested that he was about to run a red light. And there's a cop right there across the street. He slowed almost to a stop, ran the red light, and suddenly dove out of the cab. As I innocently peered over the seat, I looked out the door and saw elbows and knees hitting the pavement. I dove over the seat and put my foot on the brake.
Jeez.
Is this a way to get to work in the morning or what? I got out of the cab only to hear Blinky telling the cop, who had gotten out of his patrol car,
He pulled a gun on me.
that I had a gun. I was baffled, and even more so when I saw that the cop had his gun pointed at my head. You talk about having a bad day on the way to work. When he yelled, "Put your hands in the air." "No problem," I yelled. "Now walk this way slowly." I asked him, "You want me to lie down on the sidewalk?" He yelled back, "I'll shoot you." I responded, "I know you will." He then told me to lie down face down on the sidewalk with my hands outstretched. He jumped behind the patrol car and called for backup. 4 other cops showed up and they had me sit on the sidewalk handcuffed for 20 minutes while they all looked for the gun.
Which, of course, he had thrown out the window.
Right. About 20 minutes later, it clicked. Blinky thought I had a gun because the seatbelt clicked. I patiently told all the cops what I thought had happened, and eventually one of them approached me with my wallet. He said, "Okay, the cab driver wants $9." When they let me out of the cuffs, I asked which one of the cops had his weapon trained on me. No one volunteered, but when I recognized the guy, Officer Rick Spence, I thanked him for doing a good job. Huh? I was so thankful that I hadn't had my head blown off that I told him that. Knowing what he had known and considering that Blinky had taken us into a crack neighborhood, I thought that Officer Spence did the right thing. I shook his hand, and he drove me to work. So many.
Yeah, and I bet the cop only charged him $6.
Or maybe just a box of donuts. All right.